So I've put together a couple samples of using multidimensional arrays. The first one is the simple one, which is basically just building a multidimensional array as so, and printing it out. And the way we print it out is we define a method that takes an integer multidimensional array and basically goes through and prints it row by row. Pretty straightforward, and you should be able to understand this pretty cleanly. If we go to run it, it should produce the results we expect. Okay. The next example I came up with was just to print a very simple checkerboard made up of ones and zeros. And we'll go through this real quick. And basically what this does is pretty much the same thing. It creates an 8x8 board and basically runs through, and for every even space it prints a 0, and for odd spaces it prints a 1. So if we run it, we now get a nice little checkerboard, 8x8. The next one is I wrote the beginnings of a tic-tac-toe program. And so basically I defined a couple boards. We've got a sample win board with a win. Got an unfinished board where the game wasn't finished, and we've got a cats game. And basically I ran these tests in here to tell us whether something wins, loses, or draws. If I run it, you'll see that I got, if I run it and set up my examples correctly, you'll see that I got a win, a nothing, because the game wasn't over, and a cats game. So the way I implemented it is I established a two-dimensional array of characters. I wrote a cheater method, isWin, which compares A, B, and C, because I'm only dealing with 3 at a time. I could generalize this, but for this I went easy. And then basically an isCatsGame, which basically looks for anything that isn't an X or an O and drops out. Check for win, which is a bit more complicated. First it runs through the rows and checks for a win using that isWin method. Then runs through the columns, and then it checks the 2 diagonals. And then if it's a cats game, it returns a C. Otherwise it says the game is still in progress. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do. I hope this helps and you learn something from it. And enjoy.